Welcome, friends, to Ancient Wisdom. Have you ever stopped to think about how much you reveal about yourself to others? We live in a time when it's easy, almost second nature, to share every detail of our lives. Yet, have you considered that not every story, every dream, or every vulnerability needs to be public knowledge? When you constantly let people into your private world, you may unintentionally hand them the keys to your own peace of mind. The more you share, the more people assume, judge, or form opinions that may not reflect who you truly are. By revealing too much, you run the risk of allowing others to define you, to use your openness against you, or even to distort the image you hold of yourself. But there's a powerful alternative: choosing to hold some parts of yourself back, not out of fear, but out of respect for your journey, your growth, and the precious truths that make you who you are. When you maintain a sense of privacy, you protect not just your personal story, but also your ability to navigate life on your own terms. You regain the freedom to evolve without unnecessary interference or scrutiny. This isn't about building walls or shutting people out. It's about being intentional with what you share and with whom. It's about recognizing the value of keeping some things sacred. By doing so, you can move through life with a quiet confidence, knowing that you're the one writing your narrative, not the world around you. So, pause and reflect. What parts of yourself are you giving away too freely? What might change? You decided to share a little less, to hold your truth a little closer, and to let your actions speak louder than your words? The answers to these questions might lead you toward a life filled with greater clarity, purpose, and inner peace. 1. The meaning of silence, embracing what's truly yours. In a world that constantly urges us to share, document, and broadcast every facet of our lives, silence can feel like a radical choice. Social media, technology, and even societal expectations encourage us to make public even our smallest triumphs, private musings, and most fragile dreams. Yet not everything must be seen or heard to have meaning. In fact, it's often in the silence and the deliberate choice to keep certain aspects of our lives sacred that we find our greatest freedom and peace. Silence, in this sense, is not merely the absence of sound or words. It is the powerful act of holding close what matters most, those tender parts of ourselves that don't need external validation to be valuable. By choosing to remain silent about certain things, we assert a quiet truth: my life is my own. I do not need to offer it up for approval or applause. There is a profound strength in this choice. By not rushing to share every detail of our lives, we protect ourselves from the pitfalls of overexposure. The world is not always kind or understanding. When we reveal too much, we open the door to judgment, misunderstanding, and the pressure of others' expectations. Silence, then, becomes a shield and acknowledgement that not everyone is entitled to see our most precious moments or understand our deepest thoughts. This doesn't mean secrecy or fear. It means valuing yourself enough to hold onto your inner treasures until you're ready, or until you choose to share them. Imagine a master artist who spends years perfecting a painting in solitude. The value of the artwork doesn't depend on how many people see it, but on the care and dedication that went into its creation. Your life, your dreams, your thoughts are no different. Silence also liberates you from the need for constant recognition. In the stillness of your own heart, you begin to see that your worth isn't tied to likes, comments, or external applause. Instead, it grows from the quiet confidence that you know who you are. In this space, you can nurture ideas and emotions without the noise of others' opinions, allowing them to develop naturally, authentically, and deeply. Choosing silence isn't about retreating from the world, it's about reclaiming your narrative. It's about deciding what deserves to be shared and what is best left as your own secret, sacred truth. In this act, you find balance. You're no longer swayed by the pressures of public validation. Instead, you live according to your values, with the clarity that comes from knowing which parts of yourself are meant to stay private. Ultimately, silence is not emptiness. It is a source of profound strength and meaning. By holding close what you hold dear, you create the space to grow, to reflect, and to cherish your life for what it truly is, yours, and yours alone. 2. Living without the need for approval from others. Have you ever felt pressured to do something just to gain recognition? Many of us get caught up in a whirlwind of expectations, striving to please everyone around us, from family, friends, and co-workers to complete strangers on social media. But in truth, living solely for others' approval means surrendering one of the greatest freedoms we have: the freedom to live a life that truly belongs to us. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be acknowledged. It's a natural human need. But when approval becomes the driving force behind every choice, it begins to control how we think, act, and even dream. You might choose a job because someone says it's secure, stay in a relationship out of fear of judgment, or give up a cherished dream because others find it unrealistic. At that point, you're no longer living for yourself. Take a moment to reflect. How many decisions in your life truly come from your own heart, and how many are made to satisfy others? Living for approval can easily lead to a scripted life where you act, speak, and even dream according to what you think others want to see. Such a life often feels hollow. No amount of praise or recognition can fill the emptiness that comes from not living true to your own values. When you free yourself from the need for approval, you experience a profound sense of relief. You are no longer tied to others' opinions or judgments. Instead, you can focus on what genuinely matters to you. You can choose a path that aligns with your heart's desires, even if it doesn't please the majority. After all, no one understands your journey better than you. This doesn't mean rejecting all advice or disregarding others' feelings. It means putting your values first and allowing yourself to decide what fits your life. When you live this way, you no longer fear judgment, because your worth isn't tied to outside opinions. Letting go of the need for approval brings immense confidence and freedom. You begin daring to try new things and pursue dreams that once seemed impossible because others wouldn't understand. Even if you fail, those failures are yours, not ones brought on by living up to someone else's standards. Most importantly, you'll find joy in knowing you're living an authentic life. When you stop seeking approval, you also grow stronger in the face of criticism. Instead of letting a negative comment bring you down, you see it as just one perspective, nothing more, nothing less. External voices no longer disrupt your inner peace because you've learned to trust yourself. So ask yourself, who are you trying to please? And do they truly understand you? When you let go of the need for approval, you'll see that the most important thing isn't what others think of you, it's what you think of yourself. Let your heart and values lead the way, and don't let anyone else define your story. That power belongs to you alone. 3. The transformative power of personal values. In a world brimming with external expectations and endless distractions, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. But have you ever paused to ask yourself, what do I genuinely value? Living by your personal values is not just a pathway to fulfillment, it's an act of profound courage. Your personal values are the inner compass guiding your decisions and actions. They're not dictated by society, nor by the shifting winds of trends and opinions. Instead, they're born from deep reflection principles that resonate with your core self, shape how you approach life's challenges, and define how you engage with others. When you align your life with these values, you cultivate a sense of purpose that isn't tied to external validation. One of the most powerful aspects of living by your values is the freedom it grants. Imagine making choices not out of obligation or fear of judgment, but from a place of clarity and conviction. When you know what truly matters, family, honesty, growth, or creativity, you can move forward with confidence, even when the world around you questions your path. This clarity creates a profound sense of liberation. You are no longer chained to the pursuit of fleeting approval or superficial success. Living authentically also transforms your relationships. As you embrace your values, you naturally attract people who honor and share those principles. These connections aren't superficial or performative, they're genuine and nurturing. The more you live authentically, the less you need to maintain a facade, and the deeper your relationships become. Setting boundaries becomes not only possible but empowering. When you understand what truly matters, it becomes easier to say no to what doesn't serve you. This isn't about being selfish, it's about honoring your finite time and energy. By doing so, you preserve your mental well-being and reinforce your sense of self-worth. Every time you choose to uphold your values over external demands, you affirm that your life's direction belongs to you. Living by personal values doesn't mean a life without challenges. On the contrary, it often requires making tough decisions, walking away from opportunities that don't align with your principles, or confronting situations where you must stand firm in what you believe. These moments of difficulty reveal true strength. They show you that integrity, once tested, becomes even more steadfast. Through this process, personal values become your source of resilience. When you're grounded in your beliefs, external pressures lose their power to overwhelm. Success no longer means meeting someone else's standard. It becomes a reflection of your alignment with what matters most. Perhaps the greatest reward is the deep, enduring sense of peace that comes from living in harmony with your values. You no longer feel torn between what you do and who you are. Each decision, no matter how small, reflects your true self. Over time, this alignment builds a life that feels not only meaningful, but also empowering and authentic. In the end, living by personal values isn't about chasing perfection or achieving grand gestures. It's about the everyday choices that shape your life from the inside out. It's about crafting a life that is honest, free, and deeply fulfilling, one that reflects your most authentic self. 4. Silence is a source of inner healing and boundless creativity. Have you ever felt the weight of exhaustion, physically drained and mentally scattered? In those moments, we often turn to distractions, a conversation, a show, or the endless scroll through our phones. Yet, one of life's most powerful resources often goes untapped: silence. Silence is not merely the absence of noise, it's an intentional pause, a sacred interval where the mind can rest and the spirit can recover. When the clamor of the world grows too loud, silence offers us a sanctuary, a space where we can reflect, recalibrate, and truly heal. Silence is a sanctuary for healing. In our rush to escape discomfort, we often push away difficult feelings: fear, sorrow, lingering regret. But avoidance only allows those emotions to tighten their grip. Silence, in contrast, invites us to sit with them. It doesn't demand quick fixes or instant clarity. It simply says, "Be here, feel this." Within that stillness, we begin to untangle the web of our own thoughts, uncovering truths hidden beneath the noise. Through this gentle confrontation, silence helps us process what hurts, softens what feels overwhelming, and sets the stage for deeper healing. Silence also clears the static of external expectations. Away from the opinions of others, you hear your own voice more clearly. Like wiping away condensation from a mirror, silence reveals the face beneath your true self, unobscured and honest. It's here that you learn what you genuinely need, not what the world tells you to want. Silence is a fertile ground for creativity. The best ideas rarely arrive during frantic moments of stress or when we're buried in constant activity. Creativity flourishes in spaces where the mind is free to wander. Silence grants that freedom. It's a place where scattered thoughts align, where unexpected connections form, and where solutions emerge from the calm. Think back to when inspiration struck you, not in a crowded meeting or a chaotic rush, but perhaps during a solitary walk or a quiet evening at home. In those still moments, creativity finds room to breathe. It's not only a realm for thinking, but also a playground for imagining, for exploring possibilities you may never have considered in the noise. Silence is an open canvas. When you're alone with your thoughts, there's no one to judge your ideas. You can dream without limits, entertain the improbable, and embrace what might seem foolish to others. This freedom fosters innovation. It allows you to tap into your most authentic and daring self. In silence, you reconnect with your purpose. You remember the passion that first motivated you, the spark that brought you joy. This renewed connection fuels your work, your relationships, and your sense of direction. Silence is a journey to your core. Silence doesn't ask for achievements or progress. It demands nothing. Instead, it invites you to simply be. In a world that constantly urges us to do more, silence is a gift, a retreat into the essence of who you are. So, grant yourself moments of quiet each day. They don't need to be lengthy. A few minutes of stillness can lead to profound peace, fresh ideas, and a deeper understanding of yourself. In the quiet, you'll discover a reservoir of healing, a wellspring of creativity, and the strength to move forward as a more centered, inspired version of yourself. 5. Building deeper connections through silence. Have you ever noticed how, in conversations, we often listen just to reply rather than to truly understand? In a world so eager to share, genuine connection can feel elusive. Yet, through silence, observation, and thoughtful restraint, we can form more profound relationships, connections that stem from empathy and presence rather than words. When you resist the urge to speak quickly or fill every gap with your story, you allow space for meaningful listening. This listening goes beyond just hearing words. It's about truly sensing the emotions and intentions beneath them. You don't interrupt to give your opinion, nor do you rush to solve someone's problem. Instead, you offer your full attention, creating an atmosphere where others feel safe to express themselves openly. This quiet presence often leads to the most authentic and heartfelt connections. By choosing to keep some parts of yourself unspoken, you protect your inner value while also honoring the other person's narrative. You're not competing to outshine or dominate the conversation, and this simple humility lets others feel truly seen and respected. In holding back, you show that their voice matters just as much as your own, fostering a sense of mutual respect that deepens trust. Silence also sharpens your perception. When you're not preoccupied with what to say next, you start noticing subtleties of fleeting glance, a slight hesitation, a deep breath. These subtle cues often reveal more than words ever could. By embracing silence, you tune into these unspoken signals and gain a richer understanding of the other person's feelings and perspective. True relationships are not built on grand speeches or the relentless sharing of every detail. They emerge in quiet, meaningful moments, a shared smile, a knowing look, or the comfortable stillness where no words are needed. By holding back certain aspects of yourself, you give both yourself and the other person room to simply be. In this space, trust and authenticity can flourish. When you don't feel compelled to lay everything bare, you inspire natural curiosity. Others are drawn to learn more about you not because you're being mysterious, but because your measured approach signals depth. Relationships grow stronger and more meaningful when they unfold gradually, with each layer revealed over time. Rushing to share everything too quickly can dilute the magic of mutual discovery. In the end, it's not the amount you share that defines a connection. It's the quality of your presence. By holding some things back, you foster a relationship that's built on empathy, respect, and genuine understanding. And in this, you create bonds that endure, profound and fulfilling in ways that go beyond words. So next time you find yourself in a conversation, pause before speaking. Hold a moment of silence and listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart. You may find that in the quiet, your connections deepen in ways you never imagined. Conclusion: the transformative power of personal choice. As you reflect on your life's journey, have you ever paused to ask, am I living authentically, or am I simply meeting the expectations of others? Personal choice is the most profound strength we possess. It grants us the freedom to define our values, choose our paths, and determine how we show up in the world. Yet too often, we relinquish that power out of fear, the need for validation, or societal pressure. In today's fast-paced, hyper-connected world, it's easy to forget this basic truth. You have the right to live your life on your terms. You don't have to broadcast every moment, seek others' approval, or conform to standards that clash with your personal values. In fact, choosing to hold back, to keep certain parts of yourself private, is a powerful act of self-respect. It's a statement that says, I define what matters most, and I honor my journey by protecting it. This choice to hold fast to your values and live authentically liberates you from the invisible chains of external pressure. You gain clarity, courage, and confidence to pursue what genuinely fulfills you, regardless of whether it's understood or applauded by others. And as you take these steps, you begin to see that personal choice is not about shutting others out, but about creating a life that resonates deeply with who you are. When you live in alignment with your values, something remarkable happens. The right people and opportunities naturally find their way to you. The relationships you cultivate become more meaningful because they're built on respect and shared understanding, rather than performance or pretense. You no longer expend energy trying to be everything to everyone. Instead, you can simply be yourself, and the people who truly matter will stay by your side. Ultimately, embracing the power of personal choice is about reclaiming your life's narrative. It's about living each day with intention, guided by your own principles, and savoring the peace that comes from knowing you are true to yourself. This is where genuine freedom, happiness, and inner strength emerge, not from external accolades, but from the quiet assurance that you've chosen a life that feels right to you. So, take a moment to reflect. What do you truly value? What choices will honor those values and lead you to a life that feels authentic, fulfilling, and deeply meaningful? Remember, this is your story, and no one else gets to write it. Your personal choice is your power. Use it to create the life you